own lungs. Security guards rushed in not to help, but to restrain him, hands grabbing his shoulders, shoving him back as if he were the threat, as if he hadn't just saved a life, while Lily lay motionless on the tile, her skin pale, her lips blue. And it wasn't until Marcus screamed at them to call 911 that anyone moved with purpose. And even then it was slow, clumsy, delayed, because panic doesn't look good in front of donors. And Marcus dropped to his knees beside Lily, ignoring the guards pulling at his jacket, pressing his hands to her chest, remembering the CPR training his high school coach forced the team to learn, even though Marcus never got to play in real games because he had to work after school. And he counted out loud, voice shaking but steady enough to lead, pushing, breathing, praying, until finally Lily's body convulsed and she coughed up water, gasping like she'd just been reborn, and the sound of it cut through the crowd like lightning. But instead of gratitude, the first thing Marcus heard was Richard Harrington shouting, demanding to know who let this kid near his daughter, his voice filled with rage, not relief. And when Lily's eyes fluttered open and she saw Marcus hovering over her, drenched and shaking, she reached out weakly and grabbed his sleeve as if he were the only solid thing left in a world that had just betrayed her. And that simple gesture, that grip, would become the seed of a storm that would tear through wealth, prejudice, power, and lies in ways no one at that mansion could have imagined. Because while the ambulance wailed toward the hospital and Marcus sat handcuffed in the back of a security car accused of trespassing, while his father begged guards to let his son explain, and while social media began to buzz with half-recorded videos and distorted narratives, the truth was already slipping away. And the real twist wasn't that a janitor's son saved a millionaire's daughter. It was that the people with everything were about to reveal how little humanity they truly had. And Lily, lying in a hospital bed that night, staring at the ceiling while machines beeped around her, would make a decision that would change Marcus's life forever, even if it meant turning against her own father. Because when you survive drowning, you learn exactly who let you sink in the first place. If you want me to continue immediately with part 2, where the accusations escalate, the media turns on Marcus, and Lily uncovers a devastating family secret tied to her disability. Say the word, and I'll keep going until the full 5,000+ word story is complete. If you believe real heroes don't always wear suits or have money, subscribe right now, because this story will change how you see courage forever. And if you don't, you might miss the moment that proves kindness can come from the most unexpected place in America. Because on a blazing summer afternoon behind the iron gates of one of Florida's most expensive waterfront mansions, where the millionaire elite lounged under umbrellas sipping iced drinks and pretending the world beyond their hedges didn't exist, a silent tragedy was unfolding that no one wanted to notice, especially not the people paid to look important. Because in the middle of that luxury backyard lay a crystal blue pool shimmering like a jewel, and sinking beneath its surface was 16-year-old Lily Harrington, the disabled daughter of tech mogul Richard Harrington. A girl whose legs had never worked the way doctors promised they would. A girl whose smile had learned to apologize before anyone complained. And as her wheelchair sat abandoned near the pool's edge, like an afterthought, Lily's arms flailed weakly under the water, her lungs burning, her vision blurring, her mouth opening in a scream that never reached the air. While above her, the party continued with laughter, clinking glasses, and business deals whispered between men who measured human worth in net income. And no one saw her slipping. No one heard the splash because the music was too loud and the assumptions were too thick. Assumptions like that someone else will handle it. Someone always does, especially when you're rich. But the truth was cruelly simple. No one was watching Lily because no one ever really did. Not since her accident, not since her disability made her inconvenient. Not even her father, who stood 10 feet away discussing stock options with a senator as if his own child wasn't drowning behind him. And as Lily's strength faded and the world dimmed into silence, the only person who noticed was someone no one else ever noticed either, a 17-year-old boy named Marcus Bell, the son of the black janitor who cleaned that mansion's bathrooms every night long after the rich went to sleep. A boy who wasn't invited to the party, who wasn't supposed to be there, who was only waiting by the service entrance with his father because their bus home had been delayed. A boy who had grown up learning how to stay invisible to survive. But the moment Marcus heard the faint, panicked, splashing cutting through the music like a cry for help, something in him snapped awake, and when he looked through the decorative hedge and saw Lily's hand break the surface before sinking again, he didn't think about permission, consequences, or the way security guards had stared at him earlier like he didn't belong. He dropped his phone, kicked off his shoes, and ran, vaulting over a velvet rope as guards shouted for him to stop, because in Marcus's world, when someone was drowning, you jumped, and he dove into the pool fully clothed. the shock of the cold water hitting him like ice as he swam down toward Lily, grabbing her under the arms just as her body went limp, her head rolling back, bubbles escaping her lips. And in that moment, Marcus felt the terrifying weight of another human life in his hands. But he pushed upward with everything he had, breaking the surface as chaos finally erupted above. Screams replacing music, glasses shattering, people scrambling backward in fear, not concern, fear of being involved. And as Marcus hauled Lily to the edge and heaved her onto the deck, coughing water from his own lungs, security guards rushed in not to